Remember when you asked me for the lore behind the brand new and Taking Back Sunday feud? I do. It was 1999, one of the best movies of all time. Xenon Girl of the 21st Century premiered. We got the Tarzan soundtrack. Napster happened. And that November, nestled away in the sleepy village of Amityville, New York, yes, the haunted one, Eddie Reyes, former member of the Movie Life, and Jesse Lacey formed a little band called Taking Back Sunday. Their name was pulled from a song by a fellow Long Island band, The Waiting Process, and had the initial lineup of Eddie on guitar, Jesse on bass, Jesse's longtime friend John Nolan on guitar, Antonio Longo on vocals, and Stephen DeJoseph on drums. As the world entered the year 2000 and our computers didn't crash, the band recorded a few demos with Jesse playing casually for TBS and forming his new band, Brand New, on the side. At least that's how the band tells it. John did help out with a few brand new songs during this time, like Magazines and My 9-Ride Shotgun. Brand New eventually became more of Jesse's focus, and TBS trialed a few different bass players before meeting Adam Lazzara, who was living in North Carolina at the time. Adam tried out, they liked him, and Eddie offered for Adam to live with him so that he could join them for a few upcoming shows. Despite buying a round-trip ticket, Adam never returned home. And here's where the timeline gets a bit strange. See, John and Jesse went way back to like 4th grade. They were besties, with John even teaching Jesse how to play the guitar when they were in high school. And while the band may lay the timeline out that Jesse was just more into Brand New and that's why he left, other outlets have reported that his departure was due to an incident that would alter John and Jesse's friendship forever. It was a tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. You see, while at a house party, John allegedly hooked up with Jesse's then-girlfriend. Meanwhile, TBS member Sean Cooper tells it like John made out with a girl that Jesse had been interested in before Jesse could even get to her. Which, while a sucky thing to do, I don't think would elicit the kind of reaction we're about to see play out over literal years. Or maybe it would if you were a sensitive little guy. This is when it's alleged that Jesse promptly left the band. He didn't want to play bass anymore anyway. And that's when he started his new band, ironically named Brand New. If I had a band, I'd call it Conjecture. Anyway, the two bands actually played a few shows together throughout the early 2000s. There were other bands on the bill, but then Jesse wrote 70 times 7. The song is an ode to that night at the party, rife with scathing lines directly pointed at John, like, I remember I kept thinking that I know you would never, and now I know I want to you like only a best friend could. And is that what you call a getaway? Tell me what you got away with, because you left the phrase from the times you severed when you say best friends means friends forever. Brand New's first album, Your Favorite Weapon, was released on October 9th, 2001 with 70 times 7, along with 2 more songs that John believes are about the incident, No Seatbelt Song and Mixtape. But by that fall, all seemed to be well in the emo-verse when Brand New asked TBS to open up for them on their summer headliner tour. They even played a few more shows together into 2002, but then that spring, TBS released Tell All Your Friends with the iconic There's No I in Team as a direct response to 70 times 7. While Jesse sang back in school, they never taught us what we needed to know, like how to deal with despair or someone breaking your heart. But then Adam, or John's reply rather, was everything I know about breaking hearts I learned from you. It's true. I've never done it with the style and grace you have. And then there's the callback bridge where TBS mashes up the subtle as a brick and is that what you call a getaway versus together from 70 times 7. Best friends means I pulled the trigger. Best friends means you get what you deserve. And just when we thought that they were back at each other's necks, they embarked on that summer tour with Jesse joining TBS on stage for No I in Team and John joining Brand New for 70 times 7. As we entered 2003 and I embarked on my final months of high school, the band announced their upcoming UK tour. So much hope on the horizon. Or not, as the following month John left Taking Back Sunday and Sean went with him. But what the heck happened? Well, it's a tale as old as time, song as old as you get it. While Adam claimed that John and Sean wanted more creative control over the band, they wanted to control the whole thing, others claimed that Adam had been dating John's sister, Michelle Nolan, and he hadn't been exactly faithful. Honestly, it seems like it was a little column A, a little column B. Either way, Michelle joined John and Sean, and together they created the band Straight Light Run. That June, Brand New released their sophomore album, Deja Entendu, and released supporting merch for it, which included the Mics Are for Singing, Not Swinging shirt, which I did purchase at the July 9th show in Seattle that year, with the beautiful Mistake, Senses Fail, and fellow Canadians moaning in support. TBS would counter that t-shirt with their own, proudly swinging since 1999, because at some point Adam became the mouthpiece for this beef. A side note, that November Brand New toured with Isley, which is when sparks started flying between Sherry Dupree and Jesse Lacey. There's not enough information on them to make a video, so I'll sprinkle some of that lore here for you instead. Stray Light Run released their debut album in October 2004 with Your Name Here, Sunrise Highway, which John had originally written for TBS, but it didn't make the cut. The song was written for Jesse and really outlined the complexities of their friendship. Even after everything that had happened, John still sang, "And I'll be outside waiting for you, oh, I'll be waiting for you." Brand New released The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me in November of 2006, where Jesse turned his sights from John and focused them clearly on Sherry. At this point, she was already with Chad from New Found Glory, and DeGausser led many fans to believe that Jesse had asked for Sherry's hand in marriage and that she had turned him down with the line, "You're my favorite bird, and when you sing, I really do wish you would wear my ring." The fact that the album is laden with religious undertones also stoked the fires of that narrative, with many believing that Sherry's deeply religious background played a role in their breakup. And yes, there is another Isley and Taking Back Sunday connection, but we will deal with that in another video because there's enough for that one. In 2014, former TBS drummer Mark O'Connell said that TBS had no relationship with Brand New and that their booking agent had even tried to get them out on tour together, but Brand New always refused. A year later, Adam did an interview with the OC Weekly where he said that he thinks that Jesse is a dick, that he just sucks, he's not a good person. He then continued with, "Who am I to say? There's someone out there that's going to say I'm not a good person. I don't know." That same year, John, who returned to TBS in 2010 with Sean, released a bunch of demos from high school, which included music from Jesse. Obviously, in 2017, accusations came out about Jesse and his interactions with teenage girls when he was in his 20s, which John seems to be referencing in this twit. And no, we're not glossing over this. There are plenty of articles and videos you can seek about this particular topic. This just isn't the video for that one. It's probably fair to say that TBS has eclipsed Brand New in terms of success and that they don't really think about the feud that much. In 2024, Grammy.com asked John about There's No I in Team, if he still even thinks about the drama that inspired the lyrics anymore and if it's hard for him to play. John said that it was so long ago and that the actual emotions from that time are very far away. When they play those kinds of songs live, he taps into something that's emotionally more current rather than the events that inspired it. Continuing with, "There was a time around the first 6 months or year that we played it where the emotions of it and the circumstances around it were very real and very raw and new, and it was very intense and an emotional experience." I think that's part of what people responded to. I would say that after that initial time, a lot of that stuff died down. They even asked him about Timberwolves at New Jersey, which he admitted was a mean-spirited, cocky song that was based on his experiences with former members of the band. "This is you trying hard to make sure that you're seen with a girl on your arm and your heart on your sleeve. Remind me not to ever think of you again, Jesse Lacey." Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked that one. If you did, please save it and share it with your friends. It really does help spread the good word of the cult. And don't forget to follow me over on the gram, the Tube of the U, just in case. Good day, and may the cult be with you.